ONA EDE Yoruba. What do we mean by ONA EDE Yoruba? This is the combination of those figure of speech, proverbs, idiomatic expressions that add more beauty to language. In this video, we shall talk about how we express things in form of figure of speech, proverb, and idioms in Yoruba. Let's go. Once again, my name is Abdullah Akwemi Falade. Àwọn ọ̀nà èdè Yorùbá. Ọ̀nà èdè Yorùbá dàbí iyọ̀ nínú ọbẹ̀ èdè Yorùbá. The combination of this literature recipe is like salt in soup or stew. Tó jẹ́ pé bí kò bá sí nínú ọbẹ̀, such that if there is no salt in the stew, ọbẹ̀ náà kò lè dùn. Such stew or soup won't have a good taste. Bí ó ṣe wù kí owó tí a fi ṣe ó pọ̀ tó, no matter the amount of money you spent in preparing that food. So in a nutshell, if you don't have this kind of salt into this soup or this stew, it is likely possible you won't get the best from it. You won't get the good taste you desire. Àwọn yìí ni díẹ̀ nínú oríṣiríṣi àwọn ọ̀nà èdè Yorùbá. So the following are some of these kind of literature recipe. So let me call it literature recipe. And it goes thus. It goes thus. The first one is owe, which means proverb. Owe, proverb. Proverb is one of the literature recipe, as I call it in this video. In Yoruba, we call it ONA EDE. ONA EDE. The second one is Akanlo. Akanlo simply means idiomatic expression. Sometimes Akanlo could have any form of colloquialism, but by default is known to be idiomatic expression. Akanlo, idiomatic expression. Another one is Afiwe eleloo, which means metaphor. Afiwe eleloo, metaphor. And I'm sure you're aware metaphor is part of figure of speech. Metaphor is known as Afiwe eleloo, Afiwe taara, Afiwe taara. Afiwe taara simply means simile. Simile. Ifohunpeniyan. Ifohunpeniyan. That is personification. Ifohunpeniyan personification. Ifohunpeniyan personification. The next one is Asoregee Hyperbole. Asoregee Hyperbole. And in this video, the last one is Oriki-Panegyrics. Oriki-Panegyrics. Or a kind of expression that has to do with individual lineage. That's generics. Panegyrics, rather. Let's look at each of these ONA EDE, one after the other. The first one we mentioned is owe. Owe. Owe lẹ́sìn ọ̀rọ̀. Ọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́sìn òwe. Ọ̀rọ̀ bá sọnù, òwe là á fi wá. Owe is proverb. Proverbs are like halls to speech. Speech is like halls to speech. Owe, proverb, is like halls to speech. Owe lẹ́sìn ọ̀rọ̀. Ọ̀rọ̀ Speech is like horse to proverb. Ọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́ṣin òwe. Anytime there is a loss of words, you can use proverb to regain those words. We've discussed about this in one of the videos. A ti sọ̀rọ̀ nípa rẹ̀ síwájú. The next one is Akanlo EDE. Akanlo EDE is also one of the ONA EDE Yoruba, which we have also discussed in one of the content. The third one is Afiwe eleloo. Afiwe eleloo simply means metaphor. Afiwe eleloo a máa ń fi ṣe àpèjúwe nǹkan méjì tí ìrísí àti ìfarahàn kò jọra ṣùgbọ́n tí wọ́n ní irúfẹ́ ìwà àti iṣẹ́ kan náà nínú àbùdá wọn. So Afiwe eleloo, which is also known as metaphor, and we all have a way of what metaphor is in English. So it is just like you're trying to compare two things together. We are trying to compare them together in terms of their features, in terms of how they look. So that's why it is said, nǹkan méjì tí ìrísí àti ìfarahàn wọn kò jọra. So their look, the way they look, their features doesn't have any similarity, but the kind of quality, the kind of traits, and how they behave look alike. An example, àpẹẹrẹ, ajá ni ọmọ náà. The child is a dog. They usually use it for a lady. The child is a dog. Ajá ni ọmọ náà. The child is a dog. What does this mean? This is a metaphor. The child is a dog is a metaphor. Ajá ni ọmọ náà. Ajá is dog. You can check one of our videos on the Yoruba alphabet. We talk about Ajá. You will be able to see the image of Ajá. So if we use the word Ajá for a human being, you said Ajá ni ọmọ náà, that the child is a dog. It doesn't mean that child was born a dog. It means that child has some features, some traits of a dog. And the meaning is the child, mostly used for women, mostly used for ladies. It means such a person is a prostitute. Such a person is a prostitute, or such a person is promiscuous. So when they said Ajá ni ọmọ náà, the lady is a dog. The lady is a dog. The child is a dog. So they are telling us that such a child is promiscuous, such a woman is promiscuous, such a woman is a sex worker, such a woman is a prostitute. So we move on to another example. Ẹlẹ́dẹ̀ ni ọmọ yẹn. That child is a pig. That child is a pig. Ẹlẹ́dẹ̀ ni ọmọ yẹn. That child is a pig. What does it mean? You will have pick it from that word pig. Pig is dirty. It's a dirty animal. It means ọ̀bùn ni ọmọ yẹn, tàbí obìnrin tí ó tètè máa ń lóyún bí ẹlẹ́dẹ̀. So this could be in two ways. It could mean that they are referring to a lady or a woman to be a dirty woman that doesn't tidy up herself or the home. Whenever you visit her, you will see the whole house being messed up. She's not a clean woman. So that's why they use ẹlẹ́dẹ̀ ni ọmọ yẹn. The woman or the lady is a pig. However, it could also mean that that woman gets pregnant easily. It's one of the features, it's one of the attributes of a pig. Pigs get pregnant easily. So if they said ẹlẹ́dẹ̀ ni ọmọ yẹn, the context of use will let you know whether they mean she's unclean woman, she's dirty, or they mean she gets pregnant easily. So the context will determine what they mean by that metaphor. Ẹlẹ́dẹ̀ ni ọmọ yẹn. That child is a pig, which could mean she's dirty or she gets pregnant easily. Òjò ni olùkọ́ mi. Òjò ni olùkọ́ mi. My teacher is a rain. Òjò ni olùkọ́ mi. My teacher is a rain. What does this mean? Rain is what everybody can see. When it rains, you see it. Orúkọ olùkọ́ mi ni ẹran gbogbo ènìyàn. Olùkọ́ mi ní ẹran ìfẹ́ gbogbo ènìyàn. Ó ní ẹran ìfẹ́. That means my teacher is someone that everybody knows, everybody loves. He doesn't have. Ó fẹ́ràn. Olùkọ́ mi fẹ́ràn gbogbo ènìyàn. He doesn't have enmity with anybody. He doesn't hate people. Just like rain. Rain can split. It can rain on you. You can get drenched, and it doesn't mean it won't rain the following day. So ẹnìkan kì í bómi ṣọ̀tá. So you can't keep malice or have grudge with rain, with water. It's natural. So these are kind of examples of what is called Afiwe, eleloo. Afiwe, eleloo. Let's move on to the next ONA EDE. Afiwe taara. Afiwe taara. Afiwe taara simply means simile. A fi ń ṣe àpèjúwe ìjọra tó wà láàrin nǹkan méjì nínú ìrísí àti ìfarahàn wọn. So just like simile, when you're trying to express a kind of comparison, or you're trying to show us that, oh, this person is like this. So that's why the word like has in English always a good indicator of a simile. So the same thing goes with Yoruba. Àpẹẹrẹ, example. Ó pọ́n bí edé. Ó pọ́n bí edé. She's light like crab. She's light like crab. Meaning she's light in complexion like crab. She's light in complexion like crab. Ó dúdú bí èédú. He or she is dark like charcoal. As dark as charcoal. As dark as charcoal. Ó dúdú bí èédú. He or she is dark as charcoal. Ó funfun bí ẹ̀gbọ̀n òwú. He or she is white as cotton wool. He or she, ó funfun. That mostly it cannot be human being, and it's possible. Maybe if that person is sick, it's possible. But like if you have a white teeth, so oh, eyín rẹ̀ funfun bí ẹ̀gbọ̀n òwú. If you're trying to create an eulogy for someone, you can say that that person has a white teeth. Eyín rẹ̀ funfun bí ẹ̀gbọ̀n òwú. His teeth or her teeth is white as cotton wool. So this is the fourth ONA EDE. The next one we shall talk about is Ifohunpeniyan. Ifohunpeniyan. Say it after me. Ifohunpeniyan. Ifohunpeniyan simply means personification. Ni kí a lo àbùdá ohun tó lẹ́mìí fún ohun tí kò lẹ́mìí. When you're trying to attract, or you're trying to put an attribute of inanimate object or non-living things, let me say you're trying to use an attribute of inanimate, something that is not human being. You're now trying to use the attributes of that thing. It could be an attribute of animal, it could be an attribute of day, season. So you're not trying to impose it. You're trying to use it. Lo àbùdá ohun tó lẹ́mìí. You're trying to use the attribute of a living thing, attribute of a human being. You're trying to use it for something that is not like a woman. So that means you're attaching the attributes of a living object, of a living thing, to something that is non-living, or something that is, yes, something that is non-living. You are trying to personificate that thing into that person. So I hope you understand this better, even based on the English meaning of personification. So two things we need to note in personification, which is Ifohunpeniyan, is that you're going to put an attribute of a living object or a living thing and impose it on a non-living thing. So when we said living thing, we mean human being in this context. You're attributing the quality, the attribute of a human being to something else. And that something else is usually in non-living things. For instance, Igboro kò rẹ́rìn-ín, the street is not smiling. Igboro kò rẹ́rìn-ín, the street is not smiling. What do we mean by this? It means kò sí owó lọ́wọ́, there is no much cash at hand. There is no much cash at hand. Kò sí owó lọ́wọ́, there is no much cash at hand. That's the meaning of kò sí owó lọ́wọ́. There is no much cash at hand. Igboro kò rẹ́rìn-ín, the street is not smiling. You know, smiling is for human being. If I say the street is not smiling, I'm putting the attributes. An attribute of the human being is to smile. So I'm now putting it on the street. And street is not living thing. So that is what we call personification. You personificate the situation. Ojú ajá ń ṣẹ̀jẹ̀. That's another example. Ojú ajá ń ṣẹ̀jẹ̀. What do you mean by ojú ajá ń ṣẹ̀jẹ̀? Ara ń kan ènìyàn nítorí ohun tí ó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ tí kò sì báni lára mu. So when some unfavorable conditions or some kind of unfavorable things are happening, you won't be happy with the situation. You will tell people, Ojú ajá ń ṣẹ̀jẹ̀, that I'm not in a good mood. Is a way to pass that message. I'm not in a good mood. Please leave me. I'm not in a good mood. So that's what we mean by Ojú ajá ń ṣẹ̀jẹ̀. The eyes of the dog is bleeding. The eyes of the dog is bleeding. So when someone bleeds, it's usually for human being, but it's also possible that that thing occurs in an animal. So the eyes of the dog's eyes is bleeding. The eye of the dog is bleeding. There's a blood coming out of it. So that means that situation is not something good. One is not in a good mood. The next one is Asoregee. Asoregee ni pípọ́n nǹkan lé ju bó ṣe wà lọ láti mú káwọn tí à ń bá sọ̀rọ̀ kọ ibi ara sí ohun tí à ń sọ. So when you are trying to exaggerate a situation so that people will pay attention, that's what is known as Asoregee, which is known as hyperbole. When you exaggerate a situation, that's hyperbole. We call it Asoregee. When you're trying to you're trying to create an hyperbolic expression to people, most times you're trying to draw their attention like, wow. We call it Asoregee Hyperbole in Yoruba. Example, gbogbo ayé ló wá síbi ìgbéyàwó wa. The whole world attended our wedding. The whole world attended our wedding. Gbogbo ayé ló wá síbi ìgbéyàwó wa. The whole world attended our wedding. Which means the person is trying to create an expression to know that, oh, almost everybody in the whole world were present on our wedding day. Were present on our wedding day. Bí a bá gun ẹṣin ní inú mi kò ní kọsẹ̀. Bí a bá gun ẹṣin ní inú mi kò ní kọsẹ̀. If you try to ride a horse in me, you will never feel any gallop. You won't express any galloping whatsoever. Bí o bá gun ẹṣin, if you try to ride a horse ní inú mi, in me, in my stomach, kò ní kọsẹ̀. Such horse will not experience galloping. There won't be any barrier in its movement. It's going to move inch-free, which simply means you are happy. You're trying to tell them that you are happy, but you exaggerated it by saying that if you come to ride us in my stomach, it will go inch free. It will go inch free. You're trying to tell us that, oh, forget about it. Oh, as I speak with you, I'm happy. The next one is Oriki. Oriki jẹ́ ọ̀nà tí a máa ń lò fi ṣe àpọ́nlé ènìyàn láti mú kí orí ẹni náà wú àti kí inú rẹ̀ dùn. So it is a way you eulogize, you try to create a litany for someone to make them happy. Fún àpẹẹrẹ, some people are called Akanbi, is the name of people. Alamu, so if they ask you, kí ni oríkì rẹ? So you can say, oh, I'm Akanji, I'm Alamu, I'm Ayinde, I'm Ayinla. So these are meant, and so on and so forth. ABBN means àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. So these are names, these are oríkì for ọkùnrin. Akanbi, Alamu, Ajao, Ayinde, Ìyàndá, àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. So individual people have their own Oriki name, orúkọ Oriki. That's what we mean by this Oriki. Thus, as a result, also we have Oriki attached to each settlement, each Yoruba settlement, each region, like Ibadan, Oriki Ibadan, Oriki Osogbo, Oriki Ede, Oriki Abeokuta, Oriki Egba, Oriki Iwo, and so on and so forth. But the Oriki we are talking about here is a personal Oriki, Oriki given to individual during the childbirth or by our parents at their convenient time. So for the women we have Asabi, Amoke, Abebi, Ajoke, Ejide. So, and this name, they have a very strong meaning. For instance, now Akanbi, that is someone given birth out of majesty. Alamu, Ajao, Ayinde, and so on and so forth. So like in a female also, Asabi, someone that is chosen, is selected, someone that is chosen to be given birth to. Amoke, someone that when you know her, you always want to cherish her, you always want to take good care of her. Abebi, someone you beg to give birth to, like you so value that person that you have to beg that person before the person come into this world. Ajoke, someone that a congregation will join hands together, the whole world will join hands together to take care of, and so on and so forth. So this is the beauty of Yoruba culture, beauty of Yoruba names, beauty of Yoruba Oriki. We give names that are meaningful, names that are traceable, names that add more value to our life. Even by people calling us those names, there is a blessing attached to it because there's power in the tongue. So also, which is part of ONA, we have EDE, Akonilenu, EDE, Akonilenu. So I consider all this in this video as the so-called pun, assonance, alliteration, etc., and any other ones you can think of in English. Èdè akọ́nilẹ́nu ní àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tàbí gbólóhùn tàbí ìpèdè tí ó nira tàbí tí kò rọrùn láti yára pè tàbí láti pè léraléra ju ẹ̀kan lọ. So èdè akọ́nilẹ́nu, so those are things that you find it challenging to pronounce more than once, or you find it challenging to pronounce repeatedly, which sometimes it could be as a result of vowels and sometimes it could be as a result of consonants. So these are the kind of words, this kind of expression that are considered to be èdè akọ́nilẹ́nu, and I categorize them as the family of the pun, the assonance, the alliteration, etc. So let's look at some example in this video. The first one is alira onlora rela, alira nlora rela, alira nlora rela, alira nlora rela, alira nlora rela. You can see that there is a repetitive pronunciation of the consonant ri, r. So if care is not taken, I might not be able to pronounce this 10 times. So these are the kind of, that's why it is called èdè akọ́nilẹ́nu, it twists your tongue in such a way that if care is not taken, you'll be saying something else contrary to the real expression. So Aliran Lora Rela. Aliran Lora Rela means a name is Alira. Mostly it is an Islamic name, if I'm not mistaken. Aliran Lora Rela. Alira cuts okra dilatorily. Alira cuts okra dilatorily. That's the meaning of Alira Lora Rela. That means Alira is taking much time. It's cutting the okra slowly. Just like you said, èrè ará ìlọ́ra lẹran ará ìlọ́ra ń jẹ. Èrè ará ìlọ́ra lẹran ará ìlọ́ra ń jẹ. This is also part of Èdè Akọ́nilẹ́nu that contains R. Èrè ará ìlọ́ra lẹran ará ìlọ́ra ń jẹ. So èrè is the remnant when you try to sieve your pap. After you have grinded the corn, you want to produce a pap, you have to sieve it, and that remnant, that unwanted substance that you give to goat to feed on, is what we call eri in Yoruba. In chemistry, you know, we have the filtrate and the residue. So the filtrate is that your pap you drink, the residue is that eri, the one that will not get through the sieve, through the filter. So that thing is eri. So it's not saying eri ara ìlọ́ra. There is a town called Ìlọ́ra in Oyo State, Nigeria. In fact, Ìlọ́ra is very close to Oyo town. Yes, the Oyo town, the so-called Oyo town, Oyo Aláàfin. So very close, is a neighbor settlement to Oyo town. So there is that place called Ìlọ́ra. So it's not saying èrè ará ìlọ́ra. So that substance in Ìlọ́ra, lẹran ará ìlọ́ra ń jẹ, is what the goat in that area eats. So it's trying to pass a message that èrè ará ìlọ́ra, that remnant substance from that town, is what the goat in that town eats. Èrè ará ìlọ́ra lẹran ará ìlọ́ra ń jẹ. So another one, so I just chip in that one. It's not part of what you see here, but I just quickly it's just come to me like a freestyle, and I quickly chip in that. And the next one is ọ̀bọ ń gbọ́bọ gọ̀pẹ. Ọ̀bọ ń gbọ́bọ gọ̀pẹ. Ọ̀bọ ń gbọ́bọ gọ̀pẹ. Ọ̀bọ, you know what ọ̀bọ is now? A monkey. Ń gbọ́bọ gọ̀pẹ. So a monkey climbs another monkey to climb the tree. A monkey climbs another monkey to climb the tree. Ọ̀bọ ń gbọ́bọ gọ̀pẹ. Ọ̀bọ ń gbọ́bọ gọ̀pẹ. A monkey climbs another monkey, or a monkey assisted another monkey to climb the tree. So invariably, a monkey climbs another monkey to climb the tree. Now imagine you want to pronounce these words like 10 times consecutively. Can you try that? Yes, try it in this video. Try it and tell me. Yes. Ọ̀bọ ń gbọ́bọ gọ̀pẹ. Ọ̀bọ ń gbọ́bọ gọ̀pẹ. Ọ̀bọ ń gbọ́bọ gọ̀pẹ. Can you see that? Even me too, I need to take my time so that I won't say something rubbish. So the monkey climbs another monkey to climb the palm tree. In fact, it was specific, not any other tree. The palm tree, that's ọ̀pẹ. Ọ̀bọ ń gbọ́bọ gọ̀pẹ. Ọ̀bọ ń gbọ́bọ gọ̀pẹ. The third one, the third example, mo padà bà lábàlábà. Mo dábàá lábà, n ò falábà ládàbà jẹ. Mo padà bà lábàlábà. Mo dábàá lábà, n ò falábà ládàbà jẹ. Mo padà bà lábàlábà. Mo dábàá lábà, n ò falábà ládàbà jẹ. Mo padà bà lábàlábà. Mo dábàá lábà, n N ò fàlábà ládàbà jẹ. Àdàbà is dove. I killed a dove in a village called Alaba. When I returned to the interior of Mopadaba, Laba Alaba, Mopadaba, Laba Alaba, Modaba Alaba. When I get to the interior part of Alaba village, N ò fàlábà ládàbà jẹ. I refuse to give Adaba, that dove, I refuse to share that dove with that person called Alaba. Alaba. Mopadaba. Laba. Alaba. There's a person called that particular person that his name was used to name that village, for the village to be called Abalaba. Hope you are getting that now. So I N ò fàlábà ládàbà jẹ, and I refuse to give or share the dove with the man called Alaba. Another one is Múra dòdò ní dòó. Mo jẹ dòdò ní dòó. Mo diwọ́ dòdò. Rọmọ ní dòdò ní dòdò. Múra dòdò ní dòó. I bought plantain in a settlement called Ido. Mo jẹ dòdò ní dòó. I ate the same plantain in the settlement called Ido. Mo diwọ́ dòdò. Rọmọ ní dòdò ní dòdò. And I use the hand that has been messed up with the plantain to rub the navel of the plantain seller. I used my hand that is messed up with the plantain. You know, plantain sometimes it could be that it was prepared with palm oil or vegetable oil. So in this context, it could be palm oil or vegetable. He's now narrating to us that, okay, I bought plantain in Ido. I ate plantain in Ido. Múra dòdò ní dòó. I bought plantain in Ido. Mo jẹ dòdò ní dòó. I ate plantain in Ido. Mo diwọ́ dòdò rọmọ ní dòdò ní dòdò. And I use my messy plantain hand to rub the navel. Idodo is navel. To rub the navel of the daughter or the child of the plantain seller. Meaning that I bought the plantain in Ido. I ate the plantain in Ido. Instead of me to wash my hands with soap and water, I use the messy hand to rub the navel of the daughter or the child of the plantain seller. Múra dòdò ní dòó. Mo jẹ dòdò ní dòó. Mo diwọ́ dòdò rọmọ ní dòdò ní dòdò. Múra dòdò ní dòó. Mo jẹ dòdò ní dòó. Mo diwọ́ dòdò rọmọ ní dòdò ní dòdò. The next one is aṣọ funfun. Má funfun, ní funfun, kí funfun mọ́. Ó ti lè funfun, ní funfun, kí funfun jù. Aṣọ funfun, má funfun, ní funfun, kí funfun mọ́. Ó ti lè funfun, ní funfun, kí funfun jù. Aṣọ funfun, má funfun, ní funfun, kí funfun mọ́. Ó ti lè funfun, ní funfun, kí funfun jù. Elédùmarè jẹ́ ńlá, má jẹ́ n kú. Elédùmarè má jẹ́ n kú, jẹ́ ńlá. Elédùmarè jẹ́ ńlá, má jẹ́ n kú. Elédùmarè má jẹ́ n kú, jẹ́ ńlá. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do not forget to press the subscribe button, share, like. Thanks, and see you in the next video.